I am Grace Covington. Thank you so much for joining me for this live. And y'all, I'm in a different time zone. I was thinking this live was starting now, but I'm looking at different settings. It's saying I'm starting at a different time. And I'm doing this from my phone. So this is a little bit interesting, but we'll make it work. We're here, we're live, and I apologize for everyone that's thinking that this is at a different time. I'm currently in Costa Rica, so time zones sometimes can be very elusive. So the topic today is creating a life of ease. And ease has been one of the things that has changed my life completely. I come from a background of grinding hard, hustling, working really hard, and working in non-supportive environments, toxic environments. And excuse me, the moment that I started to embrace ease, that's when everything changed in my life. And what I mean by ease is it doesn't mean that you don't have challenges or life sometimes or life doesn't get difficult. Those things still remain a part of this human journey. That's not going away, but there's this invitation that opens up in your life that when you are in that space, there's a level of ease that is present no matter what you are going through. And you don't have to resist or react or curse against, what's showing up in your life. What if you could embrace everything in your life with ease? So let's start. Let's dive into this conversation that I love to talk about. The way that ease has changed my life is most people think that to get what you desire from life, you have to work damn hard to get it. And what if the opposite is true? What if in the space of you giving up control, what if in the space of relaxation is where you actually create everything that you desire? That has been true for my life. When I am embracing ease, when I'm choosing ease, it's actually easier to create my life versus when I'm working hard and trying to figure things out or just doing things on my own without asking for help or getting help. Life becomes really difficult. And you have to almost reprogram yourself and start to embrace ease in your life. And sometimes looking at what are you avoiding in your life that is stopping you from having ease, because sometimes we're so busy, we're going. We are in the space of distraction because we are avoiding something in our life. And I used to avoid and run away a lot, quite often, until I was willing to start to look at my life and say, okay, what am I really avoiding here? What am I avoiding looking at? And a lot of that, some of the things that I've avoided looking at is, my own childhood traumas, my own traumas. And the moment I was like, okay, so I'm going to stop running away. I'm going to look at this. The same things keep showing up in my life instead of saying, okay, I'm going to go live abroad and, just maybe change my scenery. That doesn't work because you still bring you into that situation. You are still there. No matter where you are in the world, you bring you. So look at if there's anything in your life that you're avoiding. Don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to look at it, because once you do, then the space of the heaviness that you're carrying dissipates. Then you have this energy to create what it is that you deeply desire in your life, because your energy is not being expended on energetic heaviness that you can change just by simply being willing to look at it. So I did write down a lot of things here, on this topic, because it's a topic that I enjoy to talk about. And if you have any questions, I see some people here in the live chat. Some of y'all are talking about fried chicken. Okay, okay. I will stop in between with, with any questions that you have, any tips to go through depression. Yes, that is a great one. So a couple, and I'll also tie it to this topic of creating a life of ease. So the first thing with depression is really acknowledging where you are. Like acknowledge, like, okay, I'm not feeling too good. I am depressed, because the moment you acknowledge where you are is where that change starts to take place. The moment you just acknowledge and say, yes, I'm depressed, is the moment that change starts to take place. And then from there, you can start to really look at, because sometimes we are aware beings, and sometimes we pick up on other people's stuff around us, then all of a sudden you think you're depressed, and then it's actually not even yours. I've been like, when I'm in the US, there are times where I'm just like, what is this sadness? Like, what is this? And you pick up on other people's energies. So pay attention to your environment, like the people that you're around, the things that you are watching, what you're listening to. Like, really pay attention to that, and then ask your question: is this depression really mine? And it will come clear as day. It will be either a yes or a no. And if it's not yours, then completely, just release and let that go. If it is yours, start to look at, like, what are you depressed about? Like, what is it that is depressing you? If it's money, and feel free to chime in, cream cheese. Like, what is it? What is it that is depressing you? Is it money? Is it the situation that you're in? Get clear on what it is that is causing you to move into the space of depression, and don't avoid it. Don't run away with it, because the moment you expose something in the dark, when you bring something into the light starts to change it. And that's the beauty of life. Like, you can even have ease with your depression. Like, when I'm talking about this topic, when I mentioned that sometimes life be lifing, y'all. Sometimes life does life, and it be lifing, and it's hard, and you're like, why are all these things showing up in my life? But if you don't resist, if you don't react, if you don't avoid, and you truly go there, you start to uncover and let go and release the thing that is holding you back from being free. Because you were created to live on this planet free and enjoy your life and embody everything that is here to contribute to you. And so sometimes ease shows up in a different way, but the more that you're willing to look at your life and not run away from it and not avoid it, and choose ease, choose to let go of the things that are troubling you. The moment you surrender, you open a different possibility. That's the space of ease, where, like, if we're always trying to figure our problems out, sometimes it's like, hey, I surrender this. I don't know what to do with this. I'm completely give this up. And then all the possibilities that are here to contribute to you, they will show up. The moment you surrender, the moment you let go and say, I can't do this on my own. I can't figure this out. And you don't react to it, you don't resist it, the possibilities will show up. And of course, I'm an advocate of getting help. There are amazing therapists out there that can help you through that situation. So all of these possibilities open up the moment that you completely surrender and let go. All right, hope that is helpful, and sending you good vibes that this is going to change for you. And you asked for help, and I truly believe that the help that you're looking for, cream cheese, is going to show up. It's going to show up. All right, in creating a life of ease And having ease in your life, one thing that's truly worked magically for me is the space of honoring your body. Honoring your body and honoring where your body would like to be on this planet. I have so much ease when I'm here in Costa Rica. Like, my body is happy here. My body is very articulate and says, okay, it's time to leave the United States and we need to be here. And this last time when I left Costa Rica, I I got sick. I got like sick. And it was just like a lot of different things started showing up in my world, and then I knew like my body was ready to go. My body was ready to go because it couldn't take it anymore. Are you willing to honor your body in that way and listen to your body? And when your body desires to be somewhere else, are you willing to give your body what it deeply desires? And sometimes we go into our heads and make it a money thing and say, hey, I can't afford it. So I can't choose to honor my body because of the money. The money is not there for me to just leave and choose a different possibility. And what I say to that, because, my life is certainly not perfect. I'm not a millionaire or billionaire, but when you honor your body, your body will contribute to supporting that choice. It's just you saying, yes, I'm choosing this. And again, in that space of surrender, letting go of figuring out how is this going to show up, the possibilities always show up. Once you say yes, once you choose, the possibilities show up. The possibilities have never not shown up for me. The only time that they haven't is when I'm in doubt, when I'm in question, when I'm trying to figure things out. That's when life really gets hard. But in the space of ease and surrender and honoring my body, I have more ease in my life when I say yes to honor my body and say, I got to leave the US. This is not where I'm supposed to be. It's not the most conducive place for me to thrive, for my mental health. I mean, it was intense, y'all. Imagine leaving this space here in Costa Rica where right now I'm off grid, and I'm looking into my background so I can describe it to you. I'm by a lake. There are not many people here. There are mountains here. The land is free. Like, you're not building like in Florida. That's a constant theme. And the impact that has on our bodies, like the amount of stores that are around us is insane. Like, we're consistently being marketed to. Here, the nearest mall is probably 5 hours away. The nearest grocery store is a few miles away. So you get to be in this space of total ease because you're surrounded by nature. There's no noise pollution. You are completely immersed by nature. There's no separation between land and people. You're connected to the land and you can breathe. And so the moment when I step into this space here in Costa Rica, the moment I land, it's like all of those worries, like the stressors of the United States, they go away. Like, it's amazing. And I've noticed this time and time again, how quickly that happens. The moment I land, I have no problems. They go away. Like, it automatically goes away. And I truly believe that it's because of the energy that's here, because of the space, that the land is honored. People are not like just taking from the land. They practice sustainability and give back to the land. For example, where I am off grid, electricity, like the normal way to generate electricity, like in the US, is through fossil fuels. And fossil fuels, they increase climate change, they're harmful to our bodies, cancers. Here, the way they generate electricity is with the wind turbines as well as hydropower. So using the source of water to generate electricity. And being able to be in an environment like that is so empowering and healing. Like the amount of clarity that you have is incredible. And you do start to go through a detox, because when I got here, my body started to detox from the constant going, like that's happening, in the US, and then with the elections as well. Oof, there's a lot, y'all. There is a lot. I couldn't even do it no more. I promise you, I tried my level best. But, I had made commitments. I had to take care of some business, and I had to do what I needed to do. But I was at the cusp where I was just like, I just got on that plane. I was at the last of my last. And then I noticed when I landed in Costa Rica, then this detox started to happen. I started to like be in my element. I was in San Jose because I usually take a day before I head off to come off grid. And I could breathe. Like I was letting go of all the worries, like money worries, stressors, y'all. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then I started like feeling like, yes, I could breathe. And when I'm here, I always travel by the bus system. Sometimes I will take a taxi back. It's like about 4 hours, like by bus. But I like to travel by bus because I want to be in community with the people. I'm not just coming here to take, and live in my own island. I'm truly here to also be a part of this community and live the way that they live, and not be afraid of that, not be like I'm isolating myself and, all this. But so I will travel by the public transportation, and it is so healing because there's so many forests here when you're traveling, and the land is completely honored. Versus sometimes in the US, you're traveling, I'm like, that used to be a forest and it is gone. The forest is gone. And the way that impacts our bodies is more than we actually know. When there's studies that, plants and trees emit phytoncides. I'm a certified forest therapist as well. And when we breathe in these phytoncides, it activates the NK cell, which is the natural killer cell in your body, where it's roaming, searching for cancers, searching for cells that are abnormal. And I don't even have to take vitamins when I'm here. And a huge part of it, I believe, it is with this collaboration with the earth and the phytoncides and being immersed by those things. Like, I have no desire or need for supplementation because I don't need it, because you are in full immersion of the earth and the fruits, and everything you're eating is fresh and organic. So your body changes and it moves different. Versus in the US, I definitely have to take additional supplements because my body is just like so different. It is so different. And I notice those things. And that's also that space of honoring your body is that creates ease, because now you have ease in your body. Now you're not tired, you're not exhausted, you're not sick, your mental health is like clear. You don't have all of these issues that are typically there. So it is important to honor your body and listen to your body. If your body's saying, yo, you got to go, listen to that, y'all. Listen to that. All right. I have my notes, so I'm also looking over here. Set the intention for ease in your life. If you cannot make the move, or you're not in the space yet where you've developed the muscle to say, like, I'm going to leave the US, this is it. I'm not there, because it is a process, y'all. Because sometimes our fears are so loud and we start to buy into them. We believe our fears are real and true. So if you are in that process of where it's like you're still buying the lies and stuff like that, I've been there. start to set the intention for ease. Every day, wake up and say, my intention is to have ease in my life today. And ease will start to show up. Like the power of our intention, the power of our words, the power of speaking life into our life is true. Like you hear it in the Bible. There's so many different spiritual people that have talked about this, that your yes is powerful. Your yes activates. You saying that I am choosing ease today. That invites ease into your life. The moment we go into doubt and start to figure out, how am I going to get the ease? How am I going to do this? X, Y, Z. That's none of your business. That's when you're including hard work. Just set the intention. Today I'm choosing ease. And then from there, every choice that you make, ask yourself, am I choosing this from a space of ease, or am I choosing hard work? So let's make this practical. I wake up, I set my intention. I want to have more ease in my life today. I want to have more ease in my day. Then the next choice you have is, I can immediately get into the grind of my day because I have all these meetings, all these things that I have to do. I have to try to earn an income, earn money. And so you have that choice, is to move into that space of the grind and the hustle, or the energy that showed up was go walk, go for a walk, go in nature. What do you choose? Knowing that you can, make some quick money, bring in some income, or are you going to choose the latter? Are you going to choose what your body is showing you to have more ease in how that's actually created? How do you bring that in your life? So you have choice. A lot of this is choice. So if you choose to hustle, cool. I mean, that's your choice. Then you're going to move into that hard work, that grind. Or if you choose to relax and say, okay, I'm going to go for this walk. And then from there, like, okay, what's my next choice that's going to create ease in my life? Maybe, with your job, if you do have a job where you actually go somewhere, it's like, okay, I'm going to take a different route today. I may be 5 minutes late, but hey, I'm choosing a life of ease. And I'm going to choose that route instead of rushing and, doing all these things. You have to get to a space where you honor you beyond anything else. Because when you do that, everything starts to come to your party. Like everything is coming to your party. It's not the opposite way around, where you're like, I need money, so I'm going to go and do this. Then money starts to show up with more ease. Everything starts to be the energy of ease, because that is the frequency that you radiate. And it's by building these muscles and practicing and saying, I'm going to set the intention for ease, and every choice that I make from here is going to be of ease. And practice, play with that, because once you do that, once you are in that space of building that muscle, that becomes your dominant energy, because everything has to rise to match your energy, not the other way around. Everything has to rise to match your energy. And I'm going to share this story because sometimes we're afraid when hard things show up in our life, because those things are going to come, y'all. Some hard stuff is going to show up in your life. I'm not going to pretend here and say it's going to be a bed of roses, but I believe there are things that show up in our life to help us overcome things, to overcome difficult things, so that you can be in a space of ease. And not to avoid those things, because sometimes we push away the thing that is going to create more ease in our life. I had one instance in my life, and I'm going to share this story, that has created so much ease in my life, y'all. I am so grateful, because it's allowed me to choose things that on the surface level, they may look scary, hard, and difficult, but they actually come with a lot of ease. So you'll have some of those things, because ease doesn't always show up like it's all going to be easy and blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it comes like hidden. It's like incognito, but there's ease underneath that. So one year, I decided to go snorkeling, and I was going with my kids. Now, I was thinking the snorkeling that we were doing, like, shallow water, because you can do snorkeling in some shallow water. Like, we're just going to go, in these shallow waters and see some little fishes, etc., etc. So we get on, we pay for it. They don't really tell you much now. Once they take your money, they take your money, and that's it. Pay for the snorkeling, get on the boat. Okay, we're on the boat. And then I noticed that we keep going farther and farther out deep into the ocean, like deep. I'm saying like the deep waters. I'm like, the waves are actually bouncing. And I'm doing this on my phone, y'all. I thought I was doing this from my computer, but it said mobile live. So we're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it. So the boat is actually, you're in a boat and the waves are like rocking and rocking. I'm like, what is we doing? Where are we going? Then all of a sudden they're like, okay, so in order to get to the coral reef, as the coral reef where I was like in the middle of the ocean. So that's where we had to go to, but you're still surrounded by the deep waters. Then they start saying, like, please share about your snorkeling experiences. And someone said, last time I saw a barracuda. I'm like, what? Do you know how big a barracuda is? And I was just like freaking out, like, oh my goodness. And then I'm like, it's not really hitting me that, the ocean also has sharks. And I'm like, what am I even doing here? I was thinking this is some shallow water. I wasn't prepared for any of this. Then they're like, okay, so then you're like, okay, preparing everyone to get off the boat. They're like, we have to leave you here in the deep waters because we can't get to the coral reef because it's too shallow and the boat will get stuck and obviously impact, all the fish and everything. So you have to swim to the coral reef from those deep waters. And so then they ask, do you want a life jacket? I'm like, what you think, ma'am? Ma'am, what are you thinking? Yes. So we get into the water, and at first I'm like deeply like in this shock because I'm like, okay, one, I have a fear of deep waters. I had an experience as a kid where in the pool that I was like taking swim lessons in, there was a girl that drowned, and that just stuck with me. And so this deep fear of deep, deep waters. And that's exactly where I was, in those deep, deep waters. And so, at that moment, and then the boat went off. I just watched the boat. This was like a movie. Like, here I am in these deep waters, surrounded by sharks and who knows what else. And everyone is now starting to swim to the coral reef. Here is the boat leaving because they said, okay, we're going to park over there. It was a distance away because they didn't want to get close to the coral reef. And so after doing your coral reef thing, you have to swim to the boat. So here I am in a panic. Like, I'm like, okay. And I also have my kids there too, because again, we were thinking this was going to be some shallow things, some shallow waters. Everyone else, other people that were with us, they have disappeared. So it's just us. And at that moment, I was just like, wow, I have to be strong here for my kids were cool. They were okay. It was me that was like crazy. So I got to the point where first I was like panicking, like what's going to happen? Is a shark going to attack? I wasn't even doing any of this snorkeling, all my fears. Am I going to see this big barracuda? But then I got to this point where I surrendered. And I was just like, okay, if this is the way I'm going out on this planet, okay, at least I'm doing what I love. Well, I don't really like to snorkel, but at least I'm having the experiences that bring me joy. And so I completely let go because I was in a deep, deep, extreme panic, probably having a panic attack and not really doing anything. And then all of a sudden, the moment I surrendered, I tried to do the snorkeling thing and try to see, the fishes but that wasn't working for me. But we had the courage to swim to the boat. Like we literally, I don't know where that came from. Again, deeply afraid of deep water. And so we just swam and found our way back to the boat. I didn't have the experience. So I share that story to share with you that sometimes you will have encounters in your life that will show up so that you learn the muscle of surrender. Once I surrendered and let go, I embodied surrender from that experience because now I truly know what surrender is. It's like you completely let go. You don't try to figure it out. You give it all up. Like you are just like, whatever happens, happens. I'm letting go. And that experience allowed me to now choose things in my life that I probably would not have chosen without that experience. Like being able to come to Costa Rica, being able to come solo sometimes, travel on the bus. These are things that I would not have chosen unless I had that experience, because now I had this muscle of being able to surrender. So creating a life of ease sometimes will invite you to choose things that are completely out of your element so that you can have ease. And that moment has paid me forward, paid me back with having so much ease just by that one choice. All right. So I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Sustainable income streams. I said that I would talk about sustainable income streams. A lot of people have asked me, how do I generate an income, being able to travel anywhere in the world and have an income that supports me to do that. And let me tell y'all this. If you want to have ease in your life, choose to do the things that you love, because then you're no longer working hard. Everything comes from a space of joy, and money follows joy. And choosing to do work only that I love has created ease in my life. So what does that look like? I used to work in very toxic tech, corporate America. I was doing it from the money, y'all. And I didn't have it. It was hard. Like my life was really hard in that space. It was difficult. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't honoring of me. Even though I was making good money, but it wasn't like sustainable. And the money didn't even seem to work out. Like, your money evaporated. I'm like, okay. So the moment I chose to change that and truly do only things that I love, I started having more ease in my life. Like life became ease. It's like I don't have that, like, that Sunday feeling like, oh my goodness, it's Sunday, y'all. Ooh, child, Monday. I don't like what I do. I hate that's gone. And so I looked at my life and looked at everything that, all my educational experiences, everything that I actually love to do, and honored that, no matter how weird it was. Because sometimes we're like, I love to do this thing, but I don't think I'll be able to make money from that. You can't have that. You can't actually say that, because again, you're putting limitations on your life. And to make it practical, you've probably seen other videos. Like I love the planet so much. I love the earth. I love being outdoors. I wanted a way to generate an income by doing what I love and loving the earth, and becoming a certified forest therapist showed up in my world. Normally, I would have been like, girl, you can't make no money from that. How you gonna make money by being a forest therapist and inviting people into nature? How do you actually make money from that? That's impossible. That's a lot of hard work. But the moment I said yes and stopped figuring out how the clients were going to show up, the possibility showed up. Like I'm close to graduating. I am actually earning an income by I've earned income by being a certified forest therapist. People have paid me for forest therapy sessions, and there was nothing to figure out. Like I just honored my joy. I honored the thing that I love, and money follows joy. And all the little whispers and breadcrumbs of what I should do, when I should do it. Hey, go over here. Hey, go over here. Those show up. And that's how the income shows up. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not like, okay, how is the money going to show up here, etc. And then, y'all, this has been one of the most amazing thing. Like when I say choose to do the things that you love and really honor that, you will be amazed. It never shows up like how you think it's going to show up. So I always say, don't throw away, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I've worked in the tech space, corporate America, and I actually landed a project that is dealing with the environment, like environmental remediation and reclamation. So I get to work on projects as a consultant specifically for the planet, for the earth, the thing that I deeply love. So that's why I say, when you honor you and are committed to only doing the things that you love, it never shows up how you even imagine. I thought I had to do these tech things. I never knew that there would be a project that would show up in my world that is aligned with my energy, with my joy, and contributing to the planet and being aware of some of what's going on actually with the planet. So that's how I've been able to create these sustainable income streams, is looking at everything that I love, writing it down, and then saying, okay, how can I generate an income from this? I have a whole course on that. I'll include the link in the description, because that's all I did, y'all. That's all I did, was I honored the things that I loved, and then the income, the pathway to generating an income showed up through that honoring. You might think that it's woo-woo, it's whatever, but it works, y'all. Just like I said, just like having your intention, setting your intention of what you desire to create, that's honored. When you ask, you receive. And so these income streams have been sustainable, because I had struggled before when I only had one income stream in my business, and then the next month I wouldn't have any clients, and I'm stressed out, and I'm back again in the grind and hustle. So it even honored the way that I require to have an income show up, and I have different streams flowing into my life, all from the things that I love. All from the things that I love. And some of these things are like automated, so I'm not even really working hard for them. Like, what if you could have that much ease in your life that you didn't have to work hard anymore, and that everything that you require to generate a sustainable income would show up to support you? And it does take a lot of deprogramming. That's what my course covers, in really being able to walk you through this process, because it is not like a normal process. Because sometimes we get in our head and think, oh, I can't make money from the things that I love. But yes, you can. Yes, you can. Money follows joy. And it's just doing this shift and change and instituting. Oh, hey girl, hey girl, hey. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And this video has been going on for 38 minutes, so I don't know when you're jumping in, but I'm talking about sustainable income streams right now, because that's a big question I always get. How do I generate sustainable income streams that allow me to live anywhere in the world on my terms? I never thought that was possible for me, y'all. I never thought that it would actually be possible. I went year after year miserable, depressed. I know somebody was saying they're depressed. That depressed me, because I was doing things I hated, and it was so toxic. And I'm like, this isn't it. And to have that turn around just by honoring the things that I loved as a little girl, and saying, okay, I'm going to say yes to this, even though I don't know how it's going to show up, and have that support show up, y'all. We live on a magical planet that truly supports us. It's just, we have to get away from these systems. And I'm telling you, sometimes you have to leave the United States to get your mind back, because it's like the whole country is focused on grind, 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 work, 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 work. And I get it because that's how that the economy is sustained, but that's not how our bodies are created. And so me leaving and like being in Costa Rica actually gives me the clarity where I'm like, wow, and to question things, I'm like, this isn't true for me. It may be true for someone else because y'all, sometimes it is so toxic. It is so toxic the way that we're marketed to, the way that, it's like this push to always work and pay and always pay for things that are like, that we don't need, how expensive everything is. That's toxic to your body. Like, I went to the fruit stand yesterday and I bought fruits for $30 that were all organic. Ain't no way I'm getting that, at a $30 organic, in the States is like, you're spending at least over $100 on food. And here it's like the cost is so different and it's nurturing to your body. And so sometimes you do have to leave the toxic situation so you can be free and be able then to tap into these energies that are here to contribute to us. Because if your mind is clouded by the dominant energy that's there of the hustle, the grind, I can't, y'all know y'all know the energy I'm talking about, the stress, because everyone is all stressed and worried. And so that becomes the dominant energy. And then you're in the midst of it. Then you start buying all these lies that are not real and true about your life, things that don't have anything to do with you. And the crazy part is, y'all, I'm telling y'all have to start being super aware about your life. So I mentioned that I work in environmental remediation and reclamation. I'm so glad that this is now becoming exposed, because I was working on a project and I was so shocked, like, wow, that many people don't know this. So environmental reclamation remediation is basically, the companies like the BPs or manufacturing companies. So let's say BP has an oil spill. They have to bring that land to its original state. So they have to look at, the area where the oil spill happened. Well, of course, the cleanup, do water testing, like how far out has it impacted the community. So they have to test that for years and years and years to bring everything back to its original state. So there's soil testing, air quality testing, and then the actual cleanup of the ocean and making sure like the fish and all that, they're in good shape. And so there's a story, and I'm going to link this story in the notes, that came out today. And there are a lot of companies that in this project that I'm working on that have the same issue as well. So what they're noticing is that there have been a lot of cows, cattle dying, like on farms, like on ranches, like just randomly dying. And the farmers are like, we don't understand what's happening. So some people were doing, when a calf died or something, they'll do testing, and they realized that they were finding PAFs. So there are these chemicals called PAFs and POFs, and they're produced in a number of ways. So like if a company manufactures like plastic or non-stick cookware, it comes through that manufacturing process. But these chemicals cause a lot of cancers and other diseases and impact your mental health. And so they're stuck, like, where are these paths coming from? Like, we don't get it. But then there was a point where it was allowed that the sewage that, from the toilets, they were allowing to turn that into fertilizer. So all of these farms, they were using this fertilizer and this from the sewage, because the sewage contains nitrogen and phosphorus, which helps plant grow. So they're like, okay, this is gonna work out. Nitrogen, phosphorus, this is gonna fertilize, the plants and everything. But it actually has that PAFs and POFs, those chemicals that cause cancer. And so now these cattle are dying, and now the food that we eat because that's the fertilizer they're using. They're wondering why so many people are showing up with these paths in their bloodstream. Y'all, I believe that this is done. VC life coach, that's what's happening here. A lot of the DuPont y'all, I'm going to link this article because it's happening everywhere. There's some states now that they're saying that they're testing different farms to see what the PAFS levels are. And some of them, they had to close some farms out and say, y'all can't do farming no more. Y'all cannot farm no more because it's too toxic. And so now they're giving them alternatives and turning it into like a solar farm where they're creating like solar panels. Y'all, that's scary. But the thing is, with all the science, all the technology, you can't tell me y'all didn't know that the fertilizer, the sewage would actually cause cancer. This is how economies are sustained. You get sick, you're going to need to go to the doctor. Y'all, it's scary, and that's why I'm like, that's why my body was screaming, we have to go. And sometimes you have to listen. If you know you're not aligned where you are living, honor that, because that's happening for a reason. And I was wondering why, after I left Costa Rica, don't get sick. I'm actually recovering from a cold coming back because I got really sick. And I can see why with, the toxicity in the food, the toxicity with everything going on, elections, the stress of it, cost of living. Yo, that takes a toll on your mental health. And that's why so many people, you're just wondering, why are you waking up depressed? Why are you waking up angry? If you do the research behind when you look at your food, the water you're consuming, if the land that you're on, living in Florida, where they're now tearing down, I can't believe how fast they're building and tearing down forests and trees that we can't survive without trees. Like, you can't have a concrete jungle. That's not normal. A concrete jungle is not sustainable. Like, that's not how this works. It doesn't work. The plants and trees are here to contribute to us, And so your body, that's an impact on your body. And then coming here where it's so sustainable, like there's forests upon forests upon forests. And I hope, it doesn't change because, Costa Rica is becoming a popular destination and there's some changes here, but I hope they will continue to honor, the sustainability and biodiversity that they have honored in this country. And it is deeply healing. I heal just being here, like just landing here, I heal. I could go on a tangent, but I'm going to post that article, y'all, because I think it's so important that we educate ourselves so you know what is happening, that you are aware of where your food is actually coming from. Because if they're shutting down farms and, some of these ranches, they can't even, some farmers they even said, I don't feel comfortable selling my meat. What does that tell you? A farmer that's their primary source of income. Their primary source of income saying, I am no longer going to sell my meat. That's scary, y'all. That is deeply scary. So being informed of where your food comes from, growing your own food, moving off grid. I mean, there's so many different options that we have. Sourcing your own food, I think, is important at this point, because when I read that, and this just isn't happening. This is happening all across the United States, y'all. It's not just one state. There's some states that have been, progressive in saying we're going to do testing. But I'm not trying to, bring up some conspiracies and all that. This ain't no conspiracies, but it's important to be educated and to educate yourself in what is happening. So I was so grateful for this project because it opened me up to things I didn't even know were happening because they want, and that's why they want to keep us distracted, scrolling, so you don't know what is actually happening. Your life has already been determined of how long you're going to live, how long, when you're going to get sick. Y'all have to be aware you can get out of that matrix and choose something different. If not leaving is not an option, there are other possibilities that can show up for you. You just have to be in the space of honoring, like that's what I'm saying. Creating a life of ease and honoring your body. Your body is going to show you what it requires. If your body is saying you need to start eating a different way, you need to maybe spend more and buy organic food or grow your own food. Y'all, we have to listen to our bodies. If your body's saying rest, go and rest, y'all. Because now, the space that we're in, it's literally life or death now. For real. For real. It is life or death. These people are playing with our lives. And they have put a economic tag on us, because that's how this stuff is sustainable. The economy is sustainable. They need sick people. They need us to be sick. They need some folks leaving this planet because there's too many people. Whew, it is so crazy, y'all. And the craziest part now, the people that are the billionaires and stuff like that, they know what's up. Elon Musk, he actually takes time like out of his month, like a couple weeks, and goes and just bees in nature. Nothing else. He's not on his computer, not on his phone, none of that. None of that. So they know. And they're building all these bunkers in Hawaii. So they know what's up. They know what's up. It's us. That's why they're keeping us distracted on these internets, on these phones. Swiping. So you don't know. You don't know what's happening. If people only knew, like once y'all read that article about the PAFs and POFs, I can't believe whole farms are being shut down, y'all. But I'm too passionate about this. All right. Let's see what else. Yeah, so the last thing I'm going to cover about creating a life of ease is being committed to being present in your life. When you are present, you are aware. Because when you're aware, you notice even a 1 degree shift. You notice that something is different. This is how we have to move now. You can't move in this world not being aware. Like you have to be so energetically aware so you know how to move. So you know, like, okay, something's different here, so I need to leave this space. Something is different where in this store, I gotta go. Like you have to be really aware in your life. And the way you get aware is by being present. And being present is not focusing on the past or or projecting into the future. It's being right here in this moment that you are in and fully living in this moment. We think that life begins when I have the money or when everything is perfect in my life. No, life is happening right now. You miss the aliveness, the joy, the peace that's available for you right now. It can only be found in this moment, not in the past, dwelling on the past. The past is the past, y'all. We learn from our mistakes. Okay, cool. You have some trials and tribulations. It doesn't mean you're deeply immersed in that trial and tribulation. You're here in the present. You're here in the present, and then that trial and tribulation starts to change. Not when you're in the future. Oh, this is gonna happen if I did it. You know how crazy our minds get? It's about being right here. That's where the change takes, being present right now, not running away from this moment, not running away from your life. Like be willing to face all your traumas. Be willing to face everything that's in the way of you living the life you've been called to live. Be willing to face that shit. Yes. Yes. I'm here. Okay, Lord, I'm missing all these ooh, yes, El Patron. Speak that. Speak that. They're in the sports clothing. It's in everything, y'all. It's in everything. I'll just, because I'm kind of passionate about this. Like, there's a company, I'm not going to mention the company because I'm not, just working in the space that I'm working in. They were recently fined, like the courts awarded $3 billion to for them to rectify this situation, because what was happening is they're manufacturing these products. So typically the PAFs and POFs would show up in the person that's doing the manufacturing. They started doing testing people who have nothing to do with the manufacturing. It's showing up in their bloodstream, the PAFs and POFs. So when El Patron says sports clothing and yoga mats, that's how it's coming through. Our cooking stuff, ooh, child. Okay, Sylvester Moore, where in Costa Rica are you? I'm in the Guanacaste area. What I am noticing for myself, I love San Jose. Like, I love to, go between different areas. I truly am following the energy of where my body wants to be, but I'm always drawn to these. I'm noticing that I'm drawn back to these off-grid spaces. It's kind of, I find it interesting because, yeah, it's just where my body thrives the most. I was sharing at the beginning of this live, like the space that I'm at here, there it is. I don't know if I can share my camera, but let me see if I can. We'll try. I'm not sure. This is a test, y'all. This is a test. I'm not good at all tests, but I think it's just so you get a sense. Let's see. So this, like, y'all can see, like, there are miles and miles, like, of no people. Like, there's no people. It's forests. It's water. Those wind turbines I was talking about, how they make electricity. I don't know if y'all can see them back there. And then they use the hydropower of the water. And what a beautiful way to live. Like, to wake up in this place. That's why I'm saying the stress, the worry goes away. I'm telling y'all, the stress, the worry goes away, because that's the energy that you're around. And it's healing for your body because you're not immersed with stores that you don't have to go and support, because sometimes you're just like, oh, I'm buying stuff. Why am I don't even need it. The closest store is like miles away. The closest thing is the fruit stand. And so now you are honoring your money. Like, you're just not buying things just to buy them. Like, you truly don't, you only buy what you really need. And the way that we've been taught, like the way that cities are built, because when I, go back to the US, that's hard, where it's like, whew, there's so many stores here. And even the grocery stores, like, that's kind of toxic to your body. That's like programming. I noticed one day when I was just driving, and then I was like, I need to buy something. What? Like, that thought came down, I'm like, I don't need anything. So this is all done by design to support the economy. It's not normal for us to be surrounded by so many stores. Have y'all ever thought about that? That's not normal. Every corner you go, that's not normal. That is not, the normal that I just showed you is that the land that I'm on here. And so I really believe that the reason I'm drawn here is to detox my body. Really, because this is traumatic. It is traumatic. It is traumatic. And the thing that I noticed is that you notice that it's traumatic because once you leave a place like this and go into the chaos, like, your body does a number on you. You bring the spirit of Pura Vida with you, because that energy does not, once that's there in your DNA, It's there. That's not going away. But you notice when you need to get out and you have to leave. I'm in Guanacaste area. Yesterday it made, oh, hey, what's up, Chevelle? Welcome. Yes, I'm close to the Lake Arnell area. I'm always leery about, my locations and whatever, but I'm in the Guanacaste area. Yeah, I love this area. There's something about this area that is different. I know and the climate is perfect, I would almost say, because it doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. Like it's a perfect balance. So I've definitely loved this area. I'm going to look at other areas as well, just to be open to that. I think it's important. I know I always keep coming back to the same places, but I will honor that. But I'm also going to be open to looking at other areas. A style from within ministries. I'm tired of the hustle and bustle. Ooh, girl, I hear you. That was me, girl. Girl, sometimes you have to, it takes courage. I'm not going to lie. It does. That is one of the most courageous choices that I've ever had to make, to say I'm going to leave the system that says you need me. That's how you get your money from me. You're going to have to come every day so you can support this system. It takes courage. I'll post a blog post just to share about that, because y'all, whew, it takes courage, but it's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. I would not trade it. And I'm grateful that I kind of went through it, because now I get to help other people. So you don't have to start where I started, because child, y'all don't want to be starting there. Y'all do not want any of that. So to be able to be supported, to know that you can actually leave, because the systems will lie to you and say you can't leave, but there's a way. There is a way where you can generate the income that you require and desire. It's, y'all, I'll post a link if y'all want to schedule some time. Sometimes people are afraid of the process because they think it's like too easy or too woo. That's what this life is about, creating a life of ease. But you have to be willing to let go of all the places where you work hard, where you grind, when that is not necessary, where your energetic capacities to create actually come from ease. Has it been raining there since you arrived? So it rains every day. Like, yes, every day it's been raining. I know it's going to probably rain later on today as well. It's just the climate. But there have been long periods of the afternoon where, you can actually go outside, and it doesn't bother me. I think Costa Rica, it has a biodiverse climate, and you get used to it. You really do. It's beautiful. The rain, you actually need the rain, because that's how they source electricity and where their water comes from. So I know when I was here last time, where they had a rain shortage and then they started having more earthquakes. This area has earthquakes, and I did experience an earthquake, and that was because I can't remember the whole explanation, but it was because they weren't getting a lot of water. So I'm grateful when it does rain. Style from within. I want more holistic. Yes, you deserve that, queen. You deserve that. Like, literally, at the beginning of this live, I said, set your intention. Like, what is your intention? Get real about it, because that's how I started. Because I'm like, this is not life. This is not normal to live like this, where I'm waking up, I'm stressed out, the demands of the job. It's a toxic environment, toxic culture. This is not normal, and I don't want any of it. I don't want this. I don't want this. And so acknowledging that this isn't the life that I desire is your first step to change. That's how it happened for me. I'm like, this isn't it. And then I went through the journey of, because I had to look at so many things, my own childhood traumas that were still showing up in my adult life around money, because I grew up in a home where money created so much anxiety. So I recreated those same situations in my life. And I had to go in those dark corners and expose them so I can have this new reality, because you can't create what you deeply desire when all of that garbage is in the background. Like, do I even deserve this? All of that, like being willing to look at that and not be afraid, because that's where your freedom is. That's where you become free. The moment you stop letting all of that and being willing to look at everything is the moment you're free. How can we connect with you? A couple different ways. If you're looking to connect with, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. If you're looking to create sustainable income streams, I'll post, give me a minute, y'all. After this live, I will post some links to help. I am about helping people out of this mess, because it's not fair. I don't think it's fair to live your life and never experience the deep joy that you can, the freedom that you can. And, other people get access to it. But it's available for all of us. It's just that we have to get out of the programming that's been there. And, as Black and brown people, I think some of that is also done intentionally to keep us hostage so that we can't support these systems. I mean, just look at the history. Look at the history. They need folks out here building and struggling and building the countries. So we can all get out. And that is my mission, my passion, is to help people. And I've worked with lots of different women and who have been able to get out and change and live the life. Wake up, living your life. Like, you owe it to yourself, y'all. You owe it to yourself. And I think for me, the biggest driver of that, my dad died at 50, and he was a hustler and a grinder. He was stressed. He died at 50, y'all, 50. And he had colon cancer. So when I talk about those paths and puffs, look at the environment, the stress. And to have a parent die at such a young age brings life into a deep perspective. One, you're not here forever. We all expire. I'm sorry if I'm making it so, but yeah, we're not guaranteed. We are not guaranteed life here. So you owe it to yourself to live while you have a chance. You owe it to yourself. And the sad part about my father's death is and I'm glad that he experienced this, but towards the end of his life, that's when he actually started living. When he had a few months left, that's when he started living, because he knew the end was coming. And he was a professor, and he would still go and lecture and do the thing that he loved with uninhibited passion. Like, he was showing up, because he knew that. And to live your life, to go through all that and then only do that. And so when I saw that, because he was like, make sure you live your life. Make sure you live your life. Those were his parting words. So I'm making sure I'm living my life, y'all, because I saw death in my family, and I've seen it. Like, I just had a cousin that passed away young. He had this is sad. I'm just trying to think of, I'm sorry. Like, he had, again, looking at our environment, he had congestive heart failure. So he woke up like he couldn't breathe, And so by the time he got to the hospital, he completely like passed out. They had to resuscitate him, and they spent 10 minutes trying to bring him back to life. But because of those 10 minutes, with your brain not getting oxygen, they had to put him on life support. But also, this is the craziness of our health systems, because we know that our neurons, our brain, it regenerates itself. That's what the body says. You know, that's how our bodies are designed. Like the neurons will start to fire again and regenerate. But immediately when they saw he didn't have the best health insurance, those doctors were like, if we keep him on life support, y'all, he's not going to wake up being the same person he was. How do y'all know? How do y'all know and make those kinds of decisions? You are not God. I've read stories of people who've woken up, but they just needed time and space to rest and let the body do what it does. And so that's also the pressure that these health systems, like, you know, put on people. And that's why I'm saying, like, y'all about that PAFs, make sure y'all read that story, because and so, you know, having that fear, like when the doctors put that fear on the family, they're going to lean towards, because you're taught to trust the doctor. The doctor knows everything. But they're not God. So there's a lot with that. So that's where my hunger and passion. Make sure you are creating your life, y'all. Otherwise, someone else will. They'll do it for you. That's what they want. That's why they want to keep you distracted. So they do that for you. So you don't have to think. You just wake up. I mean, think about this. Just think about everything around you. Like how we're connected so much to technology and don't have the space to think, to have clear thoughts. Elon Musk is taking time away from his business to get new ideas. He's going out in nature. He spends like 2 to 3 weeks disconnected. He's one of the richest people on this planet. They move different. The food that they eat different. And here we get, you know, the bottom of the barrel. That's what I'm saying, being present and aware in your life. So you notice the 1, the 2, the 3 degree shifts that happen in your life. When the energy changes and tells you to move different, to do things, listen to that, because that is your intuition guiding you to a different possibility. Okay. Wow, yeah. Let me just make sure I didn't miss. Thank you so much, y'all. So yes, I'll have some links in there to connect with me. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Don't hesitate to reach out that way. Yeah, it was super young for my dad to die, y'all. Super young. It was super, super young. And I think had he had access to different choices, he probably still would be here. But, you know, and he died, colon cancer, you don't want any of that. You do not want no colon cancer, because colon cancer is brutal, y'all. So at this point in time, I'm not trying to instill fear, but be mindful of the food that you're intaking. Be mindful of where your food is coming from. Be mindful of stress, you know, getting rest, because, it's crazy. The stress, y'all. The stress is the part that tears us apart. Because then all your cells start dying, and I can't stand when they say stuff like, yeah, I don't trust that. Oh, girl, I don't. At this point, after seeing what I've seen, y'all, you cannot. Once y'all read that article, you cannot. And like when you look at the food, sometimes you're like, how does a piece of chicken look this big? This is not even normal. And the way they raise some of these, this is crazy, like with the chickens and everything like that, how they raise them on these farms, and then they cut off their beaks so that they don't fight. And it's inhumane. We've just become so inhumane, and it's impacting us. I'm so sorry. Yep. I am so sorry. Style from Within Ministries at 37 with cancer. Yep. It's unfortunate, but there's a way out, y'all. There is a way out. Even if you decide not to live in the U.S. Or live in the U.S., that your pathway is already designed. If you're here watching this live, your pathway to exiting this crazy matrix is there for you. You just have to choose it. When I say choose it, you just have to say yes to it. Don't go in your head and try to figure it out, because the moment you do, the moment you allow doubt to enter in, it's hard. It's really hard, and it's building those muscles. I shared, if you go back to the live, I shared a story that changed my life in really embodying, knowing what surrender looks like, and then being able to make hard choices. Because sometimes we want to be so comfortable in our life, but in order to get where you want to go, it is going to be uncomfortable. And had I not faced like almost my own death and just said, okay, I'm surrendering. If this is the way I go, then this is the way I'm going to go. But that moment, that situation has allowed me to take the leaps that I've needed to take in my life and not be afraid. And not be afraid. It gave me the warrior woman that I needed. You can have many parts of yourself, the feminine side. There are some masculine aspects you're gonna have to embody as well. But the warrior, I needed that experience, and it was getting close to my own death, my own mortality, and saying, okay, if this is how I'm going, so be it. The moment then when I let go, there was this opening that opened up in my life that I'd never seen that before. Like, it was strange. Like, there was if you're spiritual, if you believe in God, like there was this presence that showed up, and I was just like guided. I don't even know how I did what I did. And now you're probably thinking like, what is it? What is it? But to those who watch the story, it was, I went snorkeling and thought I was going in shallow waters, but ended up being in the middle of the ocean, the boat leaving us in the middle of the ocean because they couldn't get to the coral reef because it's too shallow. So they left us and said, you swim to the coral reef. Once you do what you do, then swim back. Now, this is deep, deep, deep ocean waters with sharks, barracudas, everything in there. And in my mind, I was thinking, I'm going in some shallow waters, y'all. And so I probably was having a panic attack because I had a traumatic experience as a child where someone drowned when I was taking swimming lessons, and that stayed with me. So I had a deep, deep fear of deep waters. And so to be placed in that situation with all of your fears coming up and you're paralyzed, you don't know, like, can I even swim? I was just stuck for a minute. I tried to look, at the fish, but I'm like, nope, that's not working. But then when I said, okay, this is the way I'm gonna go, it is what it is. And then that opening opened up where I completely surrendered and then made my way back to the boat. And notice, I also had 2 kids with me, y'all. Yep, that was some craziness. That was crazy, and I had to navigate that. Now, they weren't scared. I didn't even know what's wrong with them, but these kids they're different. They're different. But that experience changed the entire trajectory of my life, because then I could choose hard things in my life, because I was this person that liked to be comfortable. And knowing that I survived that, faced my deepest fears, now like I'm okay being off grid by myself. I'm not saying like you trust your awareness. That's what I'm saying, like being present, so you trust if if you should be somewhere, if you should go somewhere. if you should do a certain thing, because I only follow that. If it's like we gotta go, we go. It's time to go, we go. And sometimes in Costa Rica, there is that energy that shows up. It's time to go. And I go. I follow that. I trust that. But I believe the only way that I was able to, because there have been some things in my life that, some people are like, you're crazy. Only way is doing the hard things that show up in your life and going through that and trusting those. Don't run away from the hard things that show up in your life. If money is a struggle, if that's a hard thing, do not, under any circumstances, run away from that, because that experience is what you might need to elevate yourself to the next level. And the beauty of that is it cuts space and time, so it shortened things. Like, you have that experience and then you're like 100 steps further just by your commitment to doing the hard things that show up in your life. And I know we have them all, y'all. We have them all. Don't run away. Go. You're not alone. That's the one thing I know. After that experience, I knew I wasn't alone on this planet. I know I'm not alone. I know that energy always, and it also helped me recognize when that energy shows up. So when I know, like, let's say if I'm going to be like in an off-grid space, there's this, and that same energy that showed up in that ocean of like, I'm being covered, I'm being held, then I know I'm good. But if I hadn't had that experience, I would never known that energy. I would have never known that energy. And we are not alone. We're not alone. You're not here to do this all alone. You're not here to change your life all alone. All the people, everything that's going to contribute to you, everything that's here to support you is going to show up, but you have to surrender. You have to give up control. You have to stop figuring things out. You have to lay down the worry, because that is the frequency you will continually attract if you stay in that energetic field. Your house could be burning down. Do not believe what is in front of you. You have to learn to go beyond that. It says, wait, I'm confusing this now. You can be in this world, but not of it. That's how you have to move. You cannot allow your physical eyes to dictate how you move. You look at your bank account, you think you're broke. You don't know what's happening in the background. You don't know what's happening in the background. You say you can't leave because you don't have the money. The moment you say you can't, everything that is going to support that is going to show up. You have to move differently in this universe. It's not about looking at what's happening in front of you. It's about letting go. It's trusting yourself, your intuition. There are going to be choices you're going to make. No one in your family everyone's going to think you're crazy, but you still honor yourself, because you don't know what that one choice is going to create in your life. And also, that's the thing about choice. People think that when you choose for you, that you exclude everyone around you. No, all those people get invited as well to choose for themselves. So it's so critical to choose for you. There are choices I've made, and people thought I was crazy. People thought I had so much judgment. That's what this world does, because they want to keep you small in that tiny little box, and it's scary and it's all that. You're going to have to make choices like that and stand on your choice and say, okay, you don't get it. Cool. That's cool. Okay, I'm making this choice for me. I needed this because the pressure has been, yes, the pressure is real, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the pressure in the U.S. is very real. That is chaotic, y'all. That is some chaos that is very difficult. It's like a spiritual warfare. I mean, I literally was at my, I couldn't do it anymore. I was at my end. And I literally just imagined someone who's so exhausted, just getting on a plane. And the moment I left, and that pilot said, "Welcome to Costa Rica." Ooh, y'all don't know. Life came back. My energy came back. There's so much toxicity. There's just so much. And so that pressure is real. Do not bow into it. Do not bow into it, because your pathway, you recognizing that this isn't normal, is the first sign that things about to change in your life. Just stay the course. Y'all, please do not give up. I just implore you. There's so many people that give up right when they're about to have that deep transformation, or they still continue to buy the lies. Like, I will meet with people that will be saying like, "Hey, I want sustainable income streams. I want to live a different life." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'm excited for you." Like, literally you see like everything that they can create, but then that fear comes back, snatches everything, that those dreams, and they're like, "Oh, I can't do it." The money. It's not the money, y'all. It is not the money. You have to realize the cycles that show up in your life, the limitations that will snatch, rob, steal everything from you, yet you can be free. You can be free. I'm telling y'all, please don't give up on this. Whew. Okay, this has been like, whoa, hour and a half. But thank you. I'll post those links in the notes. Please read the paths, that story about the food. Share that with your family, y'all, so you know what's really happening. And commit to your dreams. If you want a different possibility in your life, you can have it. It's not going to be easy all the time. It's not going to be easy. Oh, yes, VH, Cert Life Coach. Ooh, we're going to close this live with those words. I think life gets very tough right before your breakthrough. It does. It gets so tough, y'all. It gets tough. It gets really tough. But what I've noticed, you can have ease even in the toughness. You can have peace even in the toughness. You know how? Surrender. Let it go. When you look at water and a rock in a stream, and that stream is gushing, it's pushing, that rock ain't trying to stop that. It allows it to flow, to go around. So that's how the situations start changing. You will literally go around the situation as long as you're not in resistance. You're not like, "Oh, like, this can't be happening to me. This can't be happening to you." You're not reacting. Panic. "Oh my God, it's the end of my life. I don't know. This. You are in allowance, because allowance is space. You're now open to the possibilities of allowing the energy that's going to change that without you figuring out. Without you figuring out, you are in allowance. You are in allowance. And ease is you can have, that's the title of this live. You can have ease even in difficult moments, you can still have ease. Set your intention for ease. Live in a space of surrender. Be present. You can't be running away from your life. You can't do that. There's nowhere to run to except here and now. Meditate. Have a practice where you're silencing your mind, where you have that space. That space is key, because that's where you hear your intuitive voice. That's where you hear the next steps. It's important to have space in your life, not just like, I'm on social media too, y'all. There are moments where I like to get my Instagram fix, but you have to break that and have moments of space. Even if you spend 10 minutes in meditation, just being present, because then there's something about that space in being able to now be a witness to your life, because it opens up. I can't even, I don't know the scientific whatever it does, but I just know I have space in my life, and then I'm not reacting to life, like to everything that's happening, because life is going to life. Even if you're in a different country, it's still going to be lifing, but it's different here because the dominant energy of the people are of peace, are of pura vida. They're like, everything is like, okay, I just got to notice that the water, something's going on with the water pressure. They don't know that you may have low water pressure. But even the way they wrote that, it wasn't like in panic. They're like, "Oh, we're going to get to it. Don't worry." I'm like, this is so chill. I could, instead of the panic, alert, 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 it was just done in a space of ease where you're like, I don't even care about the water pressure. Honestly, I have water to drink. I can still take my shower. I'm good. So that's the difference here, is when the dominant energy of the people matches the land. Like it's a vortex. Like y'all have heard Costa Rica, it literally is a vortex. So you get pulled into this, then you're like, I don't even have problems, y'all. I'm saying, like, I don't have no I'm not tied to that. And then sometimes as you're detoxing, you'll go through those phases of, the ways of, like, because in America, you're just like, just literally, I just feel like you're like this, like this. And then you're like, the worries that normally bother you, but then this energy comes underneath that and just like, ooh, okay. I don't know what it is about being here, but it's different. It is different. It is different, and you deserve to have that in your life. Everyone deserves to have that, not this chaotic mess. And the more people that are living in that way, in this space, that's how we actually change the planet. That's why I'm also passionate about this, is because the more people we actually get to change the planet, because then we become the dominant energy and not the other way. So it is critical, it is vital for you to strap up your boots, embrace the ease that is available for you on this planet. Don't wait until the very last moments. I'm so grateful that my dad was able to live. He was able to die alive, because that's what happened. He became so alive while dying. Don't let that be you. I don't want anyone to have that experience, and I'm grateful that I was able to witness that and the things that he shared with me. But y'all have the right to live, the right to to have ease in your life, to have joy in your life, to have calm and peace, have everything you desire to show up. And I'll say this one last thing, because y'all, I'm going. Getting clear on your reality is so critical, because if you want to create, okay, I'll give an example. You saying, I want to earn $100,000 a month, just because you see like someone in social media say, I made $100,000 a month, a 6-figure income, but you're not even congruent to that. Like, and deep down, you don't want that level of responsibility, but yet you're asking for something that is not even congruent with you. That becomes hard to actually actualize, rather than getting clear. Maybe you want a simple life. There's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes we think we have to be millionaires, billionaires, and you don't have to live the life you desire. You don't have to be a millionaire. I am not no millionaire, y'all. I am not a millionaire, or even close to it. Okay? But I'm getting clear on my reality and the key pillars that I want. Ease is something that I definitely want in my life. Simple. I'm a simple gal. I'm simple. I'm not trying to, if you like the bougie lifestyle, all that doesn't make that wrong, but know yourself. Like, I like simple, easy, not complicated. You know, I'm not trying to drive 20 cars. That's not me. That's not my reality. The clearer you get to your reality, the easier it will be to create. And it's also not like and the way you get clear, the clarity of your reality, it's like, look at the lifestyle, look at your life today, the life that you're living. How much does it actually cost for you to live your life? Like, get real clear on, be honest with yourself, like even for a whole month, just tracking everything, getting clear on that. Okay, then you're like, look at that, like, is this the reality I want to live? Because going to another country, you recognize that I don't need that much money. Like, it's completely different. Like, you can, I was thinking here, someone was saying like their homeowner's insurance is like $800, y'all. Living in Florida, you ain't paying no $800 home. Car insurance is like $200 a year. Okay? So then in that, now that you know, like you've become honest, like with you're not hiding anything from yourself, like you're looking at your money, and then you're like, okay, so I go to this other country, like my reality is actually a real simple life. And then that's what you create, because then now there's this possibility that opens up just by you being clear with your money and the reality that you desire to create. So pay attention, one, to your money, get clear with that. Pay attention to the things that matter to you. Do you like nature? Do you like resting? What do you like? And then what happens is you will actually create that by being clear, because it doesn't cost $1 million to be able to live that kind of life. Like, all the things that you require to live that life, they will show up to support you. And some of them are so different. You're like, wow, I didn't know I could get access to that. And you were thinking it's going to cost you $10,000 and it doesn't cost you anything. So it's so important to get clear on your reality and not live other people's realities. Oh, you're striving for $100,000 a month, and then you're in stress, you're in anxiety, but you're not even energetically congruent to the 100,000. Don't let these social media streets steal y'all joy. You could be like, hey, my cost of living over in this country is only like $2,000. Okay. Like, everything is covered, $1,500, including food and entertainment. So then you're not working as much. But the only way that possibility became available is getting clear on your reality, not your parents, because some of us are living our parents' reality. Your parents said, in order to make it, you have to be a doctor. But you feel like you're a writer. Then you go and choose that life, and then you're not happy and you're not creating what you desire. But the moment you choose to go right, everything opens up, because that's your reality. That is your reality. It's your reality, not your parents, your whatevers. And sometimes our parents put so much pressure on us so that we can take care of them when they get older. They're like, you need to go be a lawyer. That's the only thing that's going to make you money, is be a doctor or lawyer, because they need the guarantee that someone's going to be able to take care of them. But if you're willing to honor you, and if you do want to be a millionaire, that's okay. But get clear on your reality. Oh, simple life, girl. I love the simple life. It is, it's the most beautiful life to live, y'all. Simple is the most. I'm not trying to chase all these things out here. They don't add anything to me. It doesn't bring happiness. I'm happy when it's simple, when I'm resting. I'm not trying to chase all of this stuff that's out here, y'all. To me, it's like, it doesn't, I love nature. If I'm out in nature, I have good food, good community, I'm good. I don't need to buy the latest purse or have the latest that for me, that doesn't add anything to my life. I don't need to have, I love the simplicity. It's easy, like you said. It's a lot easier and more manageable. You do not have to worry. Then the things don't own you. like your house doesn't own you. You're like steady. This house payment is crazy. Ooh, child, these payments be high. And yet you desire freedom. So get clear on your realities, y'all. Don't be sheeps out here just because everybody else is getting things, whatever things they're getting, doesn't mean you have to go and do that. Because then all the things around you own you. You being owned by the house, you being owned by all the cars, by all those things because you have to pay for them. Yet you can be free just by getting clear and saying, okay, this is my reality is actually, I actually like a simple life. Like a simple life is what I deeply desire. I don't desire all of this other stuff. I don't desire this other kind of lifestyle. Okay, y'all. Whew. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will post the links. Give me a few minutes, y'all. Oh, Guanacaste. Oh, there's lots of Guanacaste. Y'all, Guanacaste people, what's up? We need to connect. I've been so grateful. I'll say one that I know I said this before. The community that I've been able to build here in Costa Rica. I met a beautiful, every time that I come, I'm always meeting new people, and these people are like incredible. I'm like, where have y'all been? Where have y'all been? Where have y'all been? And they're so beautiful. So I'm always up about meeting folks, y'all. So y'all hit me up if you're in the area. Let's connect. I've just met some incredible community is so key. And I met this beautiful woman, and she was here with probably her fiance. And we were just contributing to each other, supporting each other. And she said things to me that gave me life. I said things to her that gave her life. That's how this is all supposed to be, y'all. Not competition, not comparison, not trying to outdo each other. It's truly community, like where you come, you're restored. And also including the people of Costa Rica in that community, y'all. I think that is... you can't come to this country and just take, y'all. It's just not sustainable. This is their country. They're some of the most friendliest people, and making sure that your community is holistic. It's not just of the people, from the U.S. Go out there. My Spanish is not, not competition, cooperation. That should be yes, it should be. Okay. Yeah, reach out, please. Please reach out. What was I going to say? My Spanish is not the greatest. I'm still a work in progress, but I try in these Spanish streets. If I'm buying something, I'm speaking the language. I'm practicing, I'm making a point of speaking the language. I'm not just showing up with my English face. I'm making the effort. And Spanish hasn't been the easiest for me to learn. I've taken lessons, but I've realized that actually being here is the greatest lesson. I find it, because the way they be teaching this, y'all, it's like, I'm not trying to learn all these conjugation and how a verb, I get it, but I think the basics, they're overcomplicated, because I've taken lessons and it's been the most boring thing on the entire planet. And I'm like, I'm tired of this mess. And so I'm just like, okay, the best way for me to learn is to immerse myself and learn that way. And like, that's why I also take the bus, because you see all the different, they don't have a lot of billboards, but it forces me, and I'm also put myself in places where they don't speak English. So I know in these rural parts, you ain't finding too many folks. So when I'm going to pay the electric bill, I know I'm going to have to say that in Spanish. I'm going to have to read off the numbers in Spanish. When I'm going to the grocery store and buying my stuff, I know I'm going to have to do that. So that gives me the practice that I need, because I had to figure out my own learning style, because some of these folks ain't teaching the way that this is I'm like, this is too complicated. I'm here frustrated and trying to figure out why this doesn't go with that. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything when I'm having a conversation? So the reason to say that, because some people will not learn the language then because it's too complicated. So if you're that person, just go throw yourself to the wolves and you'll learn. Because when I've learned so much just by seeing this same words like on billboards, being on the bus, having to say like, this is where I'm going, this is where I want to go. Sometimes I'll practice with Google Translate and then make sure I don't use it when I'm having the conversation. And it's okay to fail too. Like you'll be messing things up, but then the repetition of the words. So that's been my Spanish hack, because it's important to learn the language. And they appreciate it so much. Like they treat you so much better when you're willing to be out here. Like you get the help that you need. If you come out, because there's some folks that will just only speak English, but they go the extra way for you when you're like, okay, you're speaking in their language and they're helping you. And sometimes you may not, like, because they speak so fast, you're like, dang. But it works out. Would like to reach out. Okay. Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram there and my Facebook in the messenger. Then, yeah, we can connect. Because if you're in Guanacaste, that means we're in the same province. We in the same province, Kiv, okay? Okay? All right, y'all. I'm getting off this because obviously, y'all can see that I've been talking way too much. But thank y'all. Pura Vida!